Good evening. It's Friday, October 21st, 2011. Tonight on News 13, workers from all over Alaska have spent the past few weeks here in town training for pipeline jobs on the North Slope. And the Fairbanks Community Food Bank makes it a little easier to donate with the virtual food drive program. We'll have those stories and more. Jamie Schwartzwald has the latest in sports. Then Ashley Briggs is in with the weekend weather forecast. I'm Amy Chaussé, and this is News 13.
Keeping an eye on the interior. News 13 starts now.
Good evening. Fairbanks residents made their voices heard yesterday at a state Senate committee meeting about oil company hiring practices on the North Slope. Oil producers and other North Slope contractors maintained that they do their best to hire Alaskans for Prudhoe Bay jobs. Tonight in sports, Jamie Schwartzwald takes a sneak peek into the racing season out at the North Pole Speedway as the northernmost paved oval track roars back to life in less than 2 weeks. Stay tuned. News 13 Sports is next. Wind shifts moved the Hastings fire closer to the northeast last night. Fire officials concentrate on keeping the fire south of Washington Creek and north of the Chattanooga River. Then Micah Johnson has your extended 7-day weather forecast. I'm Amy Chaussé, and this is News 13. Hurricane-force winds and 35-foot waves are moving rapidly toward the western Alaska coastline. Residents in low-lying areas near the coast have been asked to evacuate due to a Bering Sea storm. National Weather Service lead forecaster Andy Brown describes the storm as really nasty and advises people living in coastal communities from Wales to Unalakleet to prepare. Wes Adkins with the National Weather Service in Nome says they are expecting hurricane-force winds off the coast. A memorial service was held on Fort Wainwright today for 4 soldiers. The 4 died as a result of improvised explosive devices in Afghanistan in separate attacks in November. The Fairbanks-based soldiers were all part of the 1st Battalion, 5th Infantry Regiment. News 13's Lacey Grosvold has the story. Thanks for staying with us. An Air Alaska pilot found a missing man, but he wasn't looking for him. Yesterday, pilot Eric Greener was flying out of Barrow when he heard a faint radio transmission. After calling back to acquire a stronger signal, the pilot learned that the voice was coming from a man on the ground that had been out of contact for more than 3 days. In another part of the North Slope area, the North Slope Borough Rescue Service searched for the same man. Thanksgiving dinner in 2 weeks may cost you more than it did last year. And Black Friday is starting early on the night of Thanksgiving for one store. Dennis Neal brings you the top business stories of the day. The Senate has killed the latest effort by the House to raise the government's borrowing cap. Democrats and several Republicans killed the GOP measure by a 59-41 vote late this afternoon, just minutes after it arrived from the House. It was good news for families on Fort Wainwright today. Members of the task force Sabre returned after a deployment to Iraq. News 13's Lacey Grosvold was there to see the reunion. Here's more. An event celebrating the versatility of duct tape covered the Chena River yesterday afternoon. Inspired by the Canadian television show Red Green, the Red Green River Regatta requires every vessel to utilize at least 1 roll of duct tape. This leisurely float along the Chena included water fights and equipment failures. A few of the participants discussed their unique vessels before setting sail. Will Ferrell's looking to unload some stuff, and Scarface meets Blu-ray. Courtney Friel has what's new in entertainment. All right, time to take a break from those Cyber Monday deals and stick around for Jamie Schwartzwald up next in sports. A school bus rolled into a ditch on Chris Kringle Road in North Pole late this afternoon. The bus drove into a deep ditch and rolled on its side. All of the students on board were able to exit on their own. All students were released to their parents after being looked at by medics. Good evening. Some of you may have noticed that temperatures this afternoon were above 0. To see how much longer we can expect these slightly warmer temperatures, let's check in with News 13's Ashley Briggs. Ashley. Coming up after the break, an increase this year in visitors to national parks here in Alaska. And Alaska Congressman Don Young prepares to run for his 21st 2-year term. Stay tuned to News 13. Good evening. Today is Friday, December 2nd, 2011. Tonight on News 13. A cabin fire blocked Gold Hill Road access last night, and a morning accident on Sheep Creek Road sends 2 drivers to the hospital. We'll have those stories and more. Jamie Schwartzwald has the latest in sports. Then Ashley Briggs is in with the weekend weather forecast. I'm Amy Chaussé, and this is News 13.
Keeping an eye on the interior. News 13 starts now.